I'm exhausted. This week's been exhausting talking about this. Gosh. Getting ready for a season. We got the Niners and Falcons. Xavier McDaniel said it's not a big deal. You know what? I'm not going to question Xavier McDaniel. I'm not about to have me getting choked out in these streets. No. X-Man memories. X-Man memories, Dave.
I love it. I told you before I had the X-Man shoe.
You did?
Yeah.
Look up his
The
shoe.
weapons?
The weapons.
The black high top with the white X on the side. I had those because I didn't have a lot of money back in the day, and I still don't. But this is probably like late 80s when I was in the buy your own shoes portion of my life. And so I think they were $19.99, which at the time wasn't that cheap.
No, it wasn't.
You know, back in the 80s. And I was like, these are pretty fresh. I'm going to wear them.
X-Men was no scrub either.
No, he was real. And I was trying to, living in the mean streets of Fairfax up in Marin County. I was on the wrong side of Cascade Drive. I was trying to keep it real,
You know how we say, like, so-and-so is him? I'm him. Like,
Right.
that's the new thing? X-Man is him.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And there's no second.
But if you took an all-time like top 25 poll of who is him in the NBA, he's in there. He might be at the bottom of the top 10, but if you did like a full-on,
I'll let you tell that list to him.
but again,
You're right, though. You're right.
Anthony Mason running from him.
He's not
Anthony
him.
Mason.
He's not
Charles
him.
Oakley's at the top.
he's not Kermit Washington.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
And Charles Oakley.
He slapped Charles
Oaktree,
Barkley in front of the entire players union and told everyone for months he was going to do it, and then did it, and Barkley ran away.
Yeah, I mean, I
Barkley
think
didn't run away. He just sat there.
you would have to put, Ben Wallace, I think, is a guy that I don't think gets necessarily the run that he deserves in terms of being him.
Artest.
Pay that man his money. And that's what leads me to Draymond Green, because if Draymond Green was in an arena with these dudes, I don't think that he's balling up the fist as quickly as he was on little Jordan Poole.
To be fair, the NBA has they're so worried about the fighting, because there used to be tons of fights in the 60s, 70s, and I would say into the 80s. They were so worried about the image and everything that's going on. They have truly adjudicated out all of the fighting. You leave the bench, you're gone. So, like, of this era, obviously, like, who is even in the list with Draymond? Because enforcers don't play on teams anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you used to have at least one Oak or someone like him.
Right.
Who'd be
PJ
on
Tucker?
Ronnie Cycli, Geiger, Matt Geiger. Like, you had these guys that were quote-unquote goons, if you will, on every team.
PJ Tucker a goon?
He's
a
too
physical
skilled.
player.
He's too skilled to be
I
a
mean,
goon.
we spent,
Dylan Brooks.
Skilled.
actually.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
Yes.
All PJ Tucker does is stand in the corner and shoot a three. Skilled.
But
He's a
see,
pretty good
can't
defender.
dribble.
But this is actually why I sort of dismiss what X-Man is going to say on this, because why are you going to, like, if Draymond Green came out today and went, this is no big deal, what would we say? It's like, yeah, it's kind of self-serving. It's like, sure, you don't think it's a big deal, X-Man, because in your world, that was normal.
Exactly.
And you are one of 10 people over the last 40 years that we think are synonymous with this kind of behavior. So Kevin Durant, I heard you guys talk about that. He said this is incredibly rare.
Exactly.
And he goes, I've never seen this, and I've been in the league forever. So, X-Man.
Jeff Van Gundy said it, even though Jeff Van Gundy was on those Knicks teams and he was holding on for dear life to Alonzo Mourning's leg.
One of the great moments in
Mopping up the floor.
in mop history, yeah.
New York, Miami Heat. I mean,
That game was like a 72-69 final.
Sure,
Thank
nasty.
God for David Stern for like cleaning up the league, because I mean, we think about the basketball we watch now, this Warrior team, the beautiful basketball that they play, they're not alone. These games are entertaining. You can still defend. You can still have a tough 100-99 game, but those games was like 38-34 at the half. Brutal.
Pistons, Spurs was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well,
And that's why
it was a rough watch.
Yeah.
And
Rough
that's
watch.
I think that's a great point.
Pacers Pistons was rough.
I don't know why fans of a certain age, and I think most of us in this room would be in this group, but I don't know why we look back on that with some sort of reverence.
No, that's why I like the New Jersey Nets back
in
then.
the day, we were rough. Back in the day, it was crap.
It was.
It was a terrible watch.
Kittles.
Who the hell?
But that team was fun. Like, they got up and down the floor. You had Kenyon Martin, Kerry Kittles, J.C. Kidd. They played so different from everyone else. They had no chance of beating the Lakers, but they were fun.
We glorify the bad boys of the Pistons, and they get their own documentary. It was like, that's not basketball. No. Like, who? Like, cool.
Well,
you beat up Michael Jordan.
But you know what, though?
Like,
it overshadowed how good they were.
Yeah.
They were really good.
They were fantastic.
They didn't have to resort to that. but they were really good. Like Isaiah Thomas is one of the 3 best point guards of all time.
It helped him, but it was outside of at least the emotional laws of the game. You know, like one of the things that I love so much about this era of Golden State Warrior basketball is it has brought forth the beauty of the game more than any team in history.
Yeah.
It is I want to see these unbelievable skills, and we're all right. Steph Curry probably could not have existed in this form back in the day.
I think he would have adjusted.
He
It
would
would
have
have been
found
very
a way.
different. It would have been different.
It would have been different, right? But my point is, why should we be robbed of that?
No,
that's not a good thing.
You got to see the Redeem Team doc because they explain how 92 we send all of our greatest players over there, and what it did is opens up the world to playing basketball.
Right.
And then by the time 2000 comes around, 2004, the skill level of the rest of the world, because of the FIBA rules that they were going with, it forced them to change the way they play basketball. And then they bring in Coach K and whatnot. But it really, you look at the skill development of the Ginobilis, the Pau Gasols, the Dirk Nowitzkis. Those are the evolutionary change to what you're seeing now in the game.
All right, so what's your big takeaways on what Draymond had to say? All right, let me read the legal first, and then we get your takeaways. You're listening to 95.7 The Game. KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. My big takeaway, Jordan Poole and I, we got to be professionals. Let's go out there and be pros and go play. Tells me that they're not going to be seeing eye to eye for quite some time, but be pros on the court and rebuild that camaraderie. That's my big takeaway.
I thought he undid everything he did over the weekend with his original press conference, is what I thought. I thought it was incredibly disappointing, and it's not to say that he needs to fit into anybody else's box. But it is to say that Draymond Green is here to tell you that anybody who wants to be under the impression that there is any change, that there is going to be anything other than defiance, you're not going to get it. And now I think you have an understanding of why the Warriors have reacted the way that they have. Like, everybody, we spent so much time arguing over whether or not he should be suspended. If you suspend him, that's not going to do anything either, which was originally my point. He's going to come back in a week and be this, or he's going to come back in 2 weeks and be this. He is telling you that he is still defiant, even toward the Warriors. When you ask him about the contract, it sounds to me like he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here and do something else. You can't talk about team camaraderie needing to stay together when you're the one who challenged it. You can't do that. He's not wrong about the team camaraderie, but you can't be the one to say we need to stay together when you're the one that pulled everybody apart.
But he has to say that.
That's the problem.
Right?
That's the problem.
But isn't that the truth, though?
You can't.
Camaraderie's got to be there. You're not.
No, it is the truth. But he is the one who put the camaraderie in jeopardy, and the whole dismissing of trust. I don't even know what trust means.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't know what you're talking about with trust. I mean, well, what it really means, Draymond, trust is I need to trust that you're not going to punch me in the face if I say something to you in practice. That's what trust is, and it's hard when you get in those situations because the one question that I really would love someone to ask him is, why did you punch him in the face? You know, just a simple question. Why did you hit him in the face? You know, forget trust and camaraderie and suspensions and all that. And by the way, he's opting in. He's not opting out.
I know he's opting in.
What I heard him say
that's contractual. It's not about wanting to stay with the Warriors and be with this group.
What I heard him say, Mark, is basically
another year.
You don't like me.
Yes.
You're going to have to do something with me because I'm opting in. That's what I heard him say.
Well, and I think that's probably a discussion that they've been having because. For me, and again, the real hard part about listening to him challenge the word trust is he made it sound like that came from outside the building.
Yeah, but that was my biggest thing.
The word trust came from Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and Kevon Looney.
Right.
If those three don't have your respect, then who the hell do you respect?
Well,
that would honestly be the question right now. And so when we talk about where this is going from here. You know, he gets asked about his future, and he turns it into a rip job on Kevin Durant. Like, Draymond Green is going to be defiant to the end, and that's fine. That gets to be him, but it gets us to the rub of what the Warriors have been dealing with this whole time. If we can all go into the premise, and I do, anger management and inward looking. He's not going to change.
Yeah.
But he's a phenomenal basketball player. So here's the rub inside the walls of Chase Center. Do we cut bait or do we keep winning? Because this idea of all healing together, no.
What do you think the fans want? Fans want to keep winning, right?
I think they want to keep winning.
They want to keep winning, but they want to keep winning without having to tolerate Draymond Green. And that's, as a fan, you can want both. But in reality, I don't know if you can achieve both. And that's where, inside the organization, they spend a lot of time figuring out what to do. And Mark's right. If you suspend him for 1, 5, 10, 20, 4, whatever you suspend him for, he doesn't come back any different than he leaves. So knowing that.
Maybe worse.
Exactly.
Right. Maybe even more
Exactly.
defiant.
So knowing that, what do you do? Because you want to win. They want to win more than we want them to win. That much I can pretty much guarantee. You know, they're actually the ones doing it. We want them to win, but I think there's a lot of fans who they're sick of Draymond Green. They want Draymond gone, but we still want to be a championship team. And I don't know if those two things can exist together.
A lot of fans realize you don't win that championship last year without Draymond. Now, I know he struggled, but you needed Draymond Green, just like you needed Jordan Poole. I think fans realize that. The contract stuff, I kind of like them just dipping in and say, hey, look, I got a player option next year. I got the deal. He already said it at media day. I know I'm not getting an extension. Already understand.
Right.
So he knows this could be the last ride. This could be the last year. With that, I'm cool with that. Now, let's not talk about it. We all know.
I know.
Contract's terrible.
I'm
I
not mad at that
think
either.
it's going to
That
affect
part's
anything
fine,
on
but
the
then,
court.
Then he's weaving it into
Well,
pot
he started
shots
talking
at
about
Kevin
LeBron.
Durant.
Well,
If
LeBron
you're going to
James
take your contract to the public, you better deal with what it's like. Oh my gosh, how did we get here? Why are you talking about that? You know, again, and so the big question becomes also, and this is what I think also the Warriors were probably dealing with a lot over the last week. What happens if something happens again?
I hadn't even considered that.
I
What is,
thought
like,
about it. I
what
don't
do you
know
do?
what happens.
What do you
I
do?
don't know what happens.
What happened?
Keyshawn, T.O., deactivation for the year? I don't know.
I don't know what happens.
I mean,
That's up to them.
This is where it does come into play of we're a business, we're a corporation, we have liabilities, we've got things that we've got to consider. There's no doubt in my mind that they sat down and had that conversation. If we just continue as things are, which is what they chose, what happens? What's our liability? What's our situation? And what's our answer if and when this happens again?
City Lock says if it happens again, you get another 2 weeks of radio gold. That's what you
well,
get.
yeah.
Good job,
Works
City
for
Lock
us.
on YouTube.
Not bad.
Not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't know. I just want to see this team play. What do you think the reception is tonight? Playing the Denver Nuggets preseason game, but he's making his return to Chase Center. What do you think the fans do at Chase Center? I actually think they're going to cheer him.
I think it'll be a little bit mixed.
I think most of them will.
Most will cheer, but
that's the way fans
What would
work.
you guys do?
Wow, personally, I'm not a huge booer, but if I'm in the crowd as a fan, not in obviously the media seats, that would be a little bit awkward, credential dangling. But
By the way, I heard you look good on KPIX today.
thank you. Yeah,
Streets were
pictures of
talking.
my baby too, which was really good.
Oh,
Gianna
wow.
Franco surprised me
she's
with
the
a
best.
little baby shout out, baby Lila.
It's been a big baby run here at 95. I heard you guys hit the breaking news.
For Spadone,
we'll congratulate
Shout out to
Spadone
Spadone.
on our own.
Yep.
But yeah,
A
good.
tail of the tape, by the way. Spadone's baby already bigger than my baby. My baby's almost 7 weeks old. So if we have to go like baby v baby right now, my baby's plus 155 in the
Tortoise in
head-to-head,
the hair.
you know.
Dibs. Tortoise in the hair. It'll get there.
Seriously, that
you
little
bring
peanut.
up hair with Dan Dibley. I can't believe
Actually,
I
she's
didn't
got
think
more
of that.
hair.
Sorry.
My baby's got more hair than I can ever possibly grow again. But for me, Bonte, the boos would come out naturally because I'm done with Draymond Green. And yesterday,
really done.
I'm done. I love this team. I've always loved this team. I'm done with Draymond Green.
And
I wouldn't boo, and I don't.
It's not your thing.
That's
You're not a
that's
booer.
not my thing. But if I were just going as a fan, I think my natural reaction would probably just be to cheer a lot less. Like it would probably be just kind of a chill, whatever reaction.
have you ever booed at a game out of curiosity?
Absolutely. But,
Okay.
but not the home team.
Not the home team. Yeah.
Ever?
No.
Ever?
I don't. You know what?
You booed the whole team. Of course
You know how
you
many
have.
times I was a candlestick and I'm like, this team put up 0 points in the first half,
know-
and I spent my hard-earned money.
No, I
Singletary,
get
That's a dumb question.
I literally, no joke.
Your team could be 7-1. They scored 3 points in the first half.
My boy Mikey C. We used to sit in section 8 and in section 12. And in section 8, you were right in front of the press box. And my boy Mikey C used to step up on the seat, turn around, and go, "Jimmy Ray, you suck!" He'd be screaming.
Oh, man.
Because they used to have the open window. I don't think the media was open for Candlestick, the windows. Did they?
I don't think so.
I've never been in a Candlestick.
Yeah, I know that for where they call plays, they pulled up the windows and they could hear you, and you'd see them. There was no direct access to go behind. You had to come where all the people were and go down. And we'd boo the crap out of Jimmy Ray and whoever was coming down. And so, I booed plenty of times.
Yeah, no, I was kind of anti-home team booing, and actually there was even a reason of like, you want your team to do better, and I didn't think like fans booing is going to get that out of them. I was also struck though by the Donnie Moore story. Like that was, even as a kid, that was in my head. If you don't know the Donnie Moore story,
the Angels, 86
Angels pitcher who took his own life, and actually the way he was treated in stadiums actually had a lot to do with it.
Red Sox came back from 3-1.
Dave Henderson was on the Angels.
Yep, that whole thing. So anyway, but would I boo the hell? My gosh, I told you. Like when Tommy Lasorda and Brett Butler hugged, I was at that game at Candlestick. Oh my gosh, I almost came out of my own body. I was booing so hard.
Don't you feel like the fan base is going to be conflicted this season with Draymond, though?
Yes.
You hear those words.
It's complicated.
That's all on the timeline.
It's complicated.
We can't trust this guy anymore. Like, it feels like the relationship, it's inevitable.
I think you guys mentioned it earlier, not to cut you off, but the first time he makes a mistake, or the first time he gets teed up, or the first time he barks it, misses a layup, misses a 3, which, by the way, it's going to probably happen on Tuesday. But the first time he makes a mistake or gets teed up or does something that fans don't like, he's going to hear about it. I think that the level of tolerance goes way down for Draymond.
Damn. 408 saying, Xfinity Mobile text line, Warriors fans should give Dre the silent treatment.
That's
no disrespectful bowling, but he doesn't deserve a chair right now.
I don't think this needs to go to a place where everybody's all like mad at each other and asking. One thing I have a real hard time with is, and I bet he does too, is when it sounds to him like everyone's telling him how to behave. Yeah, like he's like, look, I'm 32.
Don't tell me what to do.
Right, I'm 32.
But you know what though? I get that. We shouldn't tell them how to behave. Well, I don't like people telling me how to behave.
Exactly.
Don't tell me what to do in my life. I'm a grown-ass man.
There are racial...
You like it? You don't like it?
There are racial undertones to that, for sure.
Consequences when you don't.
You don't... It's like he's going to sit here and be like, I don't need to act this way because you want me to act this way. However, the other side to that is... the other side to that is... If you're going to be defiant to the core, then... It's going to go a certain way. It's going to go a certain way. If you're going to tell me, right, like, is he not telling Jordan Poole how to behave? Like, that would be my question.
To some level, yes.
We're professionals, and so we're going to do this, and then we're going to go home. But in the next breath, we've got camaraderie. Yeah. I heard you. I thought you were great on this morning, Joe. Like, it doesn't add up. You're saying one thing and then you're saying the opposite every press conference.
Well, and everybody's mad at me, like, you got to move past this. I'm like, look, I'm just giving you my perspective. Like,
nobody's got to move anywhere.
How I would be if I was part, and I'm part of the Warrior fan base. I literally paid to go see my team sit up in the rafters in Boston as one of like the 7 Warrior fans that were over there.
I'm going to bring that up.
What? No, it's great.
I told him to wear the credentials.
He came out of his own pocket to be there. And
Dude, it was one of the greatest sports experiences of my life.
Wear the credential.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I paid for the ticket.
I'm surprised you didn't catch a piece in that one.
You didn't. I tell you the story. So I'm coming out, and the day before, some hockey fan.
Game 4? Or?
This is game 4. Yes.
After
game
the win.
Game 3. They're riding high. It's Wednesday. I'm like, everyone's going to work because it's like 1 a.m.
And
what
we're riding
low. Yeah, we're riding low, and I'm walking out like all like sad. But you go down these because I'm in the upper bowl, and let me tell you. All of the grandmas, you're Draymond. I mean, red-faced. I mean, it was January 6th. So anyway, point being is that I'm coming out of there, and it is cement stairs for days, almost like Candlestick, where I'm like, there's no security anywhere. What's it going to look like if we win a game? I'm like legitimately worried. Well, Friday night, it's a liquored up crowd. Game starts at 9 o'clock. I'm coming down the stairs, and I watched the day before some fan got sucker punched from behind in some hockey game, and I'm thinking, this is going to be me. Should I just take the jersey off? Like, I was legitimately worried, and I had ran into other Warrior fans, and they were like, I can't believe you're wearing your jersey. Because there was literally nobody there.
Right.
I'm coming out after we win. I'm like, yeah, like literally like that. And
Being
I'm like,
humble like always.
exactly. And I'm running down the stairs and I'm looking, I'm like, there's no security anywhere. And I start hearing all of the slurs and they're coming at me. I'm wearing a bright yellow San Francisco Warriors Wilt jersey. And some guy grabs me and I thought it was someone going to hit me. Huge dude, I'm from Oakland. And I'm like, let's walk out together. And so we walked out together. And it was great. And I felt so safe. Oh, my God. I ended up bringing him to Bonte.
Yeah, well, we never got to meet because some things happened around the Senate Conference headquartthis.
Yeah.
This
guy was humongous, though.
Yeah, the guy was
Thank
humongous.
God.
Yeah, I'm not even going to continue on with the story. Actually became sad. But
I'm not going to lie to you.
Great story.
I was so, because when you get out, it is 10 blocks in both directions where it's just it's just people. It's
all Boston.
Bagpipes.
Yeah.
And it's 1 a.m. on a Friday night, and it is a liquored up, pissed off
They lost,
Boston crowd. And I'm just like the plucky white guy by myself wearing a yellow jersey, tiny, okay? And I'm like, someone's going to lay me out.
Plucky and tiny.
Someone's going to lay me out. And anyway, it was very, I was one of the most, I would say, anxiety-filled leaves of a stadium I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great story.
Oakland, you better not ever slander Oakland ever again.
Oh, bro, I put my arm around him. He's like, I played for City College. I was like, thank God. Thank God. He listens to us every day. I was like, thank God. And then I asked him, what the hell are you doing out here in Boston? He's like, oh, my girl goes to school out here. Hallelujah. Oh, it was great.
That's a good story.
That's a
Because
great
usually
story.
when you go on the road, you're with another person, right?
Yeah.
So I was by myself on
I
the
was by
road.
myself in Dallas.
That's true.
I was by myself.
Dallas hits a little bit differently, and pun intended, than Boston.
No doubt.
Dallas
No doubt.
is a little bit of a,
Although the trash talk from Dallas fans, there's an Indian guy sitting next to me, this white guy sitting behind me. Oh, you liberals from California. That was their trash
well,
talk.
that's the thing.
That's
That's
their
the
thing.
one.
It's
You're
like,
right. Nancy Pelosi.
Exactly.
What a sick
Like we
word. Oh,
think
my
of it,
gosh.
we think of it like Boston and then Dallas. You're like, oh, the Mavericks. What?
Yeah.
Then we forget. Yeah, you're in Texas.
You guys are all
Different.
moving here.
Oh,
We
you
hate
guys,
you.
This is different.
You guys pay how much money for houses? It's like, great, dude.
Seriously.
Sick bird. Your team stinks.
Right.
They're losing.
What's the worst booing now that I'm thinking about? Worst booing that I ever saw, that I was a part of, was when John York finally came to center field, to midfield for the Jerry Rice retirement ceremony. It's the last time I've seen him publicly in the middle of the field since then. Can you guys, I mean, we don't have the video footage the way we do with Joe Lacob.
Right.
It was bad.
Yeah, he needed Rick Barry out there. That's what he. You know.
Come on,
come on,
people.
people.
Well,
Come on,
Steve Young
people.
went to
By
the-
the way,
Steve
Rick
Young
Barry
went
was
to the
good
podium
yesterday.
that day.
It happens all the time. Move on.
Rick Barry's always good.
That's right. And then he promote 3 different things. The
Always,
promos
bro.
get longer.
Always.
Yeah, that was actually not live. That was just a recording of every Rick Barry interview that's ever happened. He just wants you to move on and
Use my
promote his
promo
website.
code.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
RB24.
Always RB24.
RB24,
That's
baby.
GoSleeves.com.
Yeah, thank you.
Pickleball.com. Go to pickleball.com.
I actually use RB24 and DoorDash and
nice.
Caviar just in case it works. I always try that
Promo code.
Totally.
Come
Just
on,
never know.
Lids, buy a new hat. RB24. Oh
Just
my
to let you
gosh,
guys know,
20% off.
he hasn't toured Chase Center yet.
Why?
I don't know. He's
Well,
not happy about
Scooterberry's
that.
been there plenty of
Yeah,
times.
but no, he's been to Chase Center. He sat next to Mullen. Mullen told me he sitting next to courtside next to Rick Barry was one sort of an experience. That's a movie screen. That's a movie screen. He's trying to start calling anything.
I love
What's
him.
going on? I charted 59 moving screens in the Chicago game. I charted Rick, dude.
How about when he threw
Put
his
the pin down.
Who was it that he goes, I was at the Orlando Warrior game.
Oh, Clifford Ray
And
fell
he
asleep.
fell asleep on me
He
in the
goes,
middle
and
of
I was
the
like,
game.
Clifford Ray fell asleep. He goes, oh, he always fell asleep. Movies, this
Like,
and that.
damn,
He always
Rick.
falls asleep. That's what Cliff does. We
Oh,
know that.
man. You get older and you start to just straight nod off. Like
Yeah.
the ability, I'm not quite 78 like the Famer,
Yeah.
but I'm at a point now where I could probably during the break close my eyes and grab 3 or 4 minutes easy.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been on a plane flight and actually still been awake for takeoff in years.
Yeah,
Oh
seriously.
my gosh, gone. That
Yeah.
Chicago trip where we took all those pictures
yeah?
of Bonte. The only
yeah.
reason I was still awake because I wanted to walk back there and say hey to you and your girl. Other than that, night.
You know about
night.
my
I thought it
story?
was the hypothermia
You know
from
about my
the rain.
story?
I love
No,
it.
I love
I,
stories.
I still
From
want to
business
know why
class.
you're so upset about that.
Because
You
we
got
were-
booted?
So I didn't take a nap
It was
that
like
day.
he came back to
I was
sit
ready
with
to
me and
stretch.
he was offended to have to be back there
We
in
were
the back
in
of
the
the
last
bus.
row to play.
Bougie
and I had
Bonte.
no room.
Man.
No room. That day, I was like, I'm going to get a haircut. I'm chill. I'm not going to take a nap. I'm going to sleep on the plane. This is class. It's all good. We got bumped to the last row of the plane. The last row. It was bad.
That's
it was
not
a bad
business
experience.
class, right?
It's
Last
not
row
business
of the
class.
plane?
No, last
No.
row. Sit next to the engine. But they made it right.
No,
Twitter works though, doesn't it?
Hey,
Twitter works.
Hey,
Bonte,
Twitter works.
Hey, United, bleepity boopity bop, and by the time he got to luggage, it was all good.
They saw that he had a blue check mark.
Refund. Nice little $1,000 flight gift certificate
Yep.
for me and the missus.
Whoop.
It was all good.
Whoop.
All good.
Flex moment of
I'm
the
like
flight.
United.
Seriously.
You want to pay me off? I'll sit in the back row every
Flight
flight.
957?
Well, shout
I'm
out.
just tall, Mark. Like you can't,
No, I know.
you can't lean back. My
No,
knees
you
were
saw it.
stuck. Like it was bad. Like I don't even know what they
No,
said.
if you
He said Flight 95.7,
Yeah,
which was
Flight
the morning
95.7.
show before
Oh, yeah.
Joe Low and Dibs. It was Chad, Joe, and Low called
Yes.
Flight
Chad
957.
Dewey up there at Rich City Radio. What's up,
Killing
Chad?
it, yeah.
if you had paid for something that you didn't get, that's
Yeah, a little upset.
that's different.
That's all.
That's
That's all.
I did the same thing on our Southwest flight to Maui a couple years ago where, come on, Southwest, what are you doing? Quick Twitter blastosaurus. The next thing you know, your boy's A1 through A15. I hated to do it.
worked.
Nice.
I didn't want to do it either because
Hated
the
to do
roasters,
it.
everybody's
Hey, you got
retweeting.
it.
They're like, you better take care of my boy Bonte. I was like, damn.
Yeah, because you were
We're
back there with
in.
all of us regular fans. We're all like, hey.
Well, Mark posted a picture. Can you spot Bonte? And somebody said, yeah, I know that hairline from a mile away. I was like, damn. And you see nothing but a 5 head. I'm like, damn. Your boy hairline looks shot right now. Man, it was all bad.
And this room
It's
really
all
doesn't
bad.
have a lot of
version
room
of-
to comment on hairlines. I'm struggling these days.
I mean, I'm holding on for dear life, man. I'm holding on.
Willard Salt and Pepper is still great. The hat's doing you no favors. You
No,
need to
that's
crack
just-
that
You know what it
baby
is?
off.
You know what it is? Because like when I gel my hair and then I put the headset on and then it flattens the rest of the hair, it makes the baldness look even more profound. That's what I've noticed.
I
for
hate
me.
to admit this because you and I have come a long way, but a couple weeks ago, you were walking through here with no hat, and I was like, he's losing his hat.
I know.
I didn't want to say anything, but now that you.
Aren't we all?
I'm going.
I'm hanging on.
Yeah.
I'm at
hanging
the
on for
end of
dear
a
life,
Dwayne
too.
Kuiper call here. Go out of here.
Dude, there's the good thing
I'm at the end of the call.
good thing about airlines is just like speeding on the freeway. There's always someone going faster.
Exactly.
I had a good buddy.
Exactly.
I arrived at college.
You're on fire today.
Dude, I arrived at college and there was a good buddy. I'm like, bro, you're 22 and your hair's gone. Like,
Trey-
what the hell's
Trey
happening to you?
Lance, I love the guy. And I look at him, I go,
Right.
God darn
Trey
it.
Lance.
Poor
it's
guy.
fun. I got a buddy. I don't
He's going to
need-
be Mr. Clean by 25.
Yeah, no doubt. My buddy, ignore the nickname, but his nickname is Wet Wet. He's been holding off for dear life for 15 years. And I'm like, dude, just go home.
Yeah,
Just
let it go.
home.
Let it go.
Like, you're
You too
receiving
good for
from
your
the
home?
front, the back, and my guy, I'm just like, what? Just let it go.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Adina Mazel. Yeah.
It's just good. I'm like,
Just go home. I
Let it
like
go.
that. I like that.
just go home. Like, you know, when people got the ball spot in the back and the receipt in the front, you got the baby hairs. It's like, all right,
Man,
let's-
if LeBron shows up bald on Tuesday, that's going to be fantastic.
well, he was bald and then had
I
hair
know.
2 days later.
I know. Yeah.
Brian Urlacher.
Yeah. Whoops.
LeBron's a great example of just go home. 'Cause, I mean, that thing has been,
Let it go.
Yes, I agree. Well, Durant, too.
Oh, and Tiger Woods. I mean,
Tiger
quite
Woods,
frankly.
yeah.
Tiger Woods, yeah, Tiger Woods up
Tiger
there.
been through a thing or
They,
two.
they
Yeah.
had Tiger's
Wouldn't
head
you
right
understand?
next to a tee box, a par 3 tee box. And like, the golf memes, they're everywhere. And I was
Brutal.
like, poor guy.
Just come home. What else you guys talk about today?
Well, we'll
Falcons,
definitely
Niners?
we'll get into the Draymond stuff, and I was interested actually in this football game last night. I might be the only human being in America who would say that after another just complete, utter, disgusting display of football on a Thursday night. But I was very much interested in the way the Bears are using Justin Fields and how that sort of relates to the conversation we all had about Trey Lance weeks ago. And in fact, furthering that, a tweet by Richard Sherman, which got a reply from Sean Payton, which sort of confirms Justin Fields is going to get ripped sideways now for a while, already has been, and he doesn't look good, and there are things that are definitely on him. But
He's getting more heat than Wentz, and I thought he was a better quarterback.
my
on the
God,
field.
here's the deal, though. Justin Fields, when he gets into the open field, is a problem. He
As a
is
runner.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
And the Bears, this is the opposite. Everyone here in the Bay Area, why are you running Trey Lance? You're going to get him killed. Hey, Bears, why are you not running Justin Fields? And this is direct from Sean Payton, a man who knows a thing or two about calling plays. the Bears are not putting Justin Fields in any position to succeed because they're asking him to do the opposite of what his skill set is. They need to do what Kyle Shanahan was trying to do with Trey Lance. And spoiler alert, they're going to try to do it again next year.
You know, it's we were talking about it, and I'm watching Justin Fields, the spin out and go backwards back to the whole field that you're going to throw to.
Turn your back on the field.
It drives me crazy, right? He is a great runner. The difference between, and not that Trey's better or whatever, he's got a long way to go. They both have a long way to go. But the one thing I am encouraged with Trey is that when he does have trouble in the pocket, it feels like he's stepping up, looking to throw downfield, and you can see the difference between the two. I can now understand a little more why Shanahan leaned into Trey Lance, because it was Fields or Trey Lance, Fields, Trey Lance or Mac Jones, and now it's making a little more sense.
Totally. And he also has absolutely no weapons. I mean, Darnell Mooney's fine, but like he's not a one. He's not a
he's
one.
He's like the 4 for the Niners.
He's not a one.
In crunch time.
And that 4th and 16, he threw a dime to Equiminius St. Brown, went right through his damn thumbs. I mean, it was just so he's got nothing to work with, and that's sad to watch.
Hey, Mooney on the last play. Mooney, that was a great route by Mooney. You know, Fields throws it to him, and he drops it.
If he catches it clean, it's a touchdown. If he catches it clean, it's a touchdown. The brand new GM of the Giants is going to be on the show today, too, at 11:30.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Patella.
Pete Patella.
Yep.
That's right.
Patella.
All right, so you're going to tell him
the big question?
I want a shortstop, and I'd like maybe a first baseman.
Yeah,
and
no,
right fielder.
He's not Santa with your Christmas list.
Write your Christmas list.
What's the big question?
We'll go through all the names.
What's the one thing you got to know about Patella? What are we doing? Trash cans?
Don't
wires?
hyperextend it.
Yeah, no, his whole thing, he was the developer of whatever the Astros player development system was, which obviously
feels like they're going to win again.
Has worked at an unbelievable level. So we'll find out a little bit about what that system is and how quickly Marco Luciano's going to get his butt up here to Oracle Park.
Does Jordan have a brother who can come play for us?
Seriously.
I mean, that guy's a monster.
That series is over.
Isn't it over?
Game one.
It's over.
Game one. That's it.
Hey, real quick. Also this, tonight, like I can't think of the last non-Giants baseball game that has activated me as much as tonight's Dodgers-Padre game. Let's go.
Look at us.
Let's go.
Gonsolin gets who?
Exactly.
Gonsolin gets who? Is it Musgrove?
Blake
Snell.
Oh, I don't like
I know.
that for the
But he's got
Padres.
it. But he's got a good playoff history against the Dodgers.
Yeah,
remember when he was with Tampa?
He got pulled.
If they hadn't taken him out, we would have had Game 7.
I don't like Snell in this game.
I know.
This is going to be fun.
It's super fun.
He hadn't thrown a strike in a year and a half.
Bruce
We'll see what
Mahoney game in
happens.
the city. You guys don't care about high school
No, I
football.
love that. You know I'm all about the Mahoney game.
Come on, man. The Mahoney game, Kezar Stadium's
Lots
going
of
to be
drinking
rocking.
in the Golden Gate Park area.
Go.
Maybe. Don't snitch on the kids.
I'm talking about the adults.
Kids, exactly.
All right, we got to go.
Talking about the
Willard
adults.
Dibs coming up next.